Hello there, welcome back to episode 4 of The Land of Good and Evil Season 1. We are going to work on this wonderful little temple here today, and apart from that, I really want to bring up some security measures. I feel not safe enough here, and that's one thing that we really gotta work on. Also, I want to work on 2 statues for today. We only got iron, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So the temple in question is worshipping one Dag Sparkle Whisked. What a name. So we can, of course, go here and relate that to a person, and then let's see. Dag most often takes the form of a female enchantress and is associated with hospitality, inspiration, art, and beauty. All right. I feel like this is one very weird god, but whatever. Oh yeah, and we're also going to build the tavern and the dining hall for real today. So a couple of projects, nothing too terribly big, but very important things for the well-being of a fortress. Right on. So let's make sure that these engravings happen with a higher priority. There we go. And let's talk security. So up here we have, well, this is a pretty simple entrance for everything which is hostile against us. So I want to make this entrance a little bit more complicated in case of we see a larger scale attack. Let's see, is there any other good option that I could directly take? A bullhound and a troll are fighting. Why is there a troll? Okay, a bullhound ain't nothing in my premises. Alright, I'm relieved. A huge, hideous, bull-faced hound with sickly yellow eyes. Alright, so that's a new one. I haven't seen that one yet. I cannot really say what's modded and what's not, because I'm not that deep in. So, well, I'm still wondering how we can make the main staircase a little bit more secure. I mean, in the long run, I want to put a lid on all that and make it impossible for enemies to attack from above, and we can use all that here as a extra defensive measure, but currently not possible. Has to wait. So, yeah, I think this is probably the most fancy way for it now. So we're going to set up a bridge here, which we can and will raise. So, alright, that's only this weird bullhound troll scenario here. And here we go. So, this is one tunnel that will only get activated when we're getting sieged, because everything using this in a day-to-day scenario is just uncool. All right. So for the part here, well, man, this floor being 3 tiles wide makes every usage of traps rather inefficient. But let's start with some wooden cages. Let's manufacture some. Oh, whoopsie, didn't mean to. So let's make sure we always have 10 of these at our disposal. And get started with some cage traps right before the enemy hits town. There we go. So this method here, I need mechanisms now on a serial production. This method here will make sure that whatever wants to break through into the actual city will get caged in the first place. But the problem here is really up with the with how that floor is cut. But that, if that doesn't make any sense to you, so if the enemy comes from this direction, follow my cursor. They will always all cling to that corner, and only 33% of the trap corridor will be active. Same is true for these folks. If they come from here, they will cling to that wall, and that's something that makes me pretty unhappy about designs like these. So this is more of a last effort thing. Somebody is fighting. My dwarfs sensed that with their beard whiskers that something was fighting down there, I tells you. Alright, so this corridor here, though, this will be the more sophisticated method of killing off stuff. And, well, depending on the danger level, I'll be having this here raised or not. Alright, we also need a trade depot, don't we? So in the first couple of years, I usually don't stress out myself too much about placing the trade depot safely somewhere or not. For we have 20 dwarves here in the city, no serious attacks should happen. I mean, I say should happen because this is a modded run anyway, so everything can happen. That's what's frightening me a little bit here, but you know, that's just part of the business. So, iron statues of Dax sparkled whiskers, sparkled whisked. So, all right. It concerns me a little bit, all right? It concerns me a little bit that we have the depiction of a enchantress here. It's a goddess. Is my civilization deeply influenced by some foreign force? I somehow have that feeling. So we're going to cut gems here, but only as long as we have more than 10 rough gems. There we go. Quite important for me to have that, because otherwise you quickly destroy your entire stockpiles that you then will miss out for your artifact makers. Really, really important stuff. Speaking about really important stuff, we got ourselves the basics of the industries down. We also got quarry bushes. So with quarry bushes comes the need for a textile industry. So let's set that up real quickly. So first off, we're requiring cloth bags. So you always require cloth bags. Or you make them out of anything else, but in my world, they're always made out of pigtail. Give me a sec. If you define this here too early, it doesn't look like this. So we're going to make only pigtail bags here for today. And now comes the terrible rest of the clothing industry. I hate that part, but let's get through it. So you see, there's a lot of different things. What I'll do, I'll just illustrate it once and do the rest off camera, so you don't have to suffer through it. So you can, if you use DFHack, you can also import and export your stuff there. Quite dandy stuff. Can only recommend. So cloth cap. The plan is a quite simple one. I'll make these as long as there's less than 3 of them available, and only as long as there's enough plant cloth available. And end of the story. We also make several of these. And that order is now going to be repeated on every single piece of clothing here. Since this is a little bit of a painful process, I'll do that real quick so you don't have to suffer for that. Alright, and that's done. It always pains me deep inside, but now we got this all set up and running. And this, I know this ain't ideal, but this is by far the best method that I found so far that works somewhat. But, well, let me know how you guys handle that. I'd be really, really down for that. Another thing that we now have to set up, now that we have the bag production running. It was actually all about the bags. I just did the clothing thing because I know it's going to be a thing otherwise. So process plant to bags. That's what we want to have here. So this does process quarry bush leaves into bags, because otherwise you cannot cook them in the kitchen. And quarry bushes are extremely powerful when it comes down to cooking. So another monster hunter wants to join our case. I'm not ready for that yet, because we cannot set up a permanent entrance to the underground It's just too dangerous. We are not there yet. And in the meantime, our friendly gem cutter is cutting them gems. So, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to decorate those statues or not, or if we're just going to, you know what, we're just going to set them up there. Later iterations of our fortress interior will have these fancynesses, but not this one. Alrighty, so let's see. Zaxul Stellatconus. Is that the dude? I noticed the other day something really, really funny. Yeah, so among my first few migrants was a legendary blacksmith. That means stuff like statues will be done in a masterwork quality quite often due to this guy. I'm super happy about that. Oh no, no migrants. That's tragic. So we got 14 brave dwarves, and well, it seems as if it would stay like that for a while. Yeah, I'm used to that scenario. It's not by far the first time or anything like that. It's like there's supposed to be another migration wave, no? Or did we already have two on the first one was only one person? I think it was like that. Either way, well, well, we gotta work with that number for a while, but I already have some plans. Due to the fact that we got such a high productivity here in general, I feel like that fortress is coming along really nicely. We can and will set up the city core a little bit more. How do you like that upward scaling thing, by the way? Let me know in the comments. Personally, I'm not sure what to think about it. It's somehow cool, but somehow also weird. And if I'm sure about one thing, it doesn't have any particular benefit or anything like that. At least I haven't found any yet. Alright, so finally we can set up a little bit more of that here. So the dining hall is a quite simple setup. We merely stack up prepared meals here, so people can grab their grub, and then the rest is really just tables and chairs. End of the story. So let's set it up like that. There we go. Got to cut back on that a little bit to make it actually work, but no, I don't. We're just going to cut back here because that does not work for real. Or, yeah, this is more like it. Here we go. You see me experimenting a little bit, but that's mostly because we are cursed by a artistry goddess. I blame it now. I blame the fanciness now on the enchantress goddess. I like the idea of that. So, with the help of DF Hack, it's a lot easier to get these things done. Especially since I can't even place down things, even after I ran out of tables to place. Or chairs. It's really cool. Here, you see. It's now paused. But as soon as new tables are available, they're going to be placed there. And this is such a powerful little thing. I cannot overstate how cool this is. If you were working without it before, you surely know what you totally will know what I mean here. Okay, so all those jobs are not getting done because I went for that huge smoothing bonanza here. Enchantresses are visiting. So the whole time we're getting visits from enchantresses. 13 of 14 or 12 of 14 people are worshipping some weird enchantress goddess. Now that's a great start. That's reminding me of the last fortress when we had a death and suicide god. Now it's all flowers and daisies. From one extreme to the other. can't say I would appreciate that. So rock mechanisms have been made, and this is what I'm talking about. So we're going to slap down all manner of deadly traps here in that corridor. It's the poor man's trap corridor, okay? We're not rich yet. We're going to go all the way with rockfall traps. But, you know, the thing about rockfall traps is, if you stack up enough of these, they are also quite deadly. And especially in the early phases of the game, they are really, really all you need. So this way I ensure that either way the enemy is closing in on the base, they will not have a super easy entrance on us. And let's complete that with another row of cage traps. They're not as important now. And the priesthood is ready to be recognized. Wonderful. Now we have to assign a priest too. So let's see. The most fun part is always to see what the name is. A sacred monk. Oh man, how boring. I expected something fancy, something awe-inspiring, whatever. One of Warcraft's dwarves is taking that thing. I'm really curious to see how large that cult will grow and how fast. That's one thing that I really want to know. Wizard Lasher is visiting. So I sadly don't know anything about wizards or the danger connected to them. Probably we should ally with these folks after all. I don't know. I have a hard time telling. So what I do know is they're living up here. That's wizards. I have no clue why the hell they are visiting us so much. Oh, of course. It's the temple. It's a religion. I was right about it. I better lock up my artifacts behind a big old vault. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this whole thing here. Maybe they are just hoping to get some cheap artifacts out of our base. Not like that. So, well, I would say let's turn that into a bit of a narrative here. That you see, my civilization here is has almost gone under. I had a bit of an idea how to spin that narrative. Let me know how you like it. So I noticed that there are a lot of druidic dwarves here, and I was wondering maybe once the Stockade of Control and the Humid Leaf were one civilization. I bet it wasn't like that, but just hear me out with the idea. Maybe this druidic dwarf civilization also has stolen the majority of the people from that civilization. Either way, I want to spin it like that. Like officially they are our allies, but unofficially people are talking bad about them. And probably this is also some sort of extortion scheme, you know? We have to worship these people so we can stay in these lands. I don't know. Story ain't there yet, but let's see how things will play out. I only see that I somehow mistrust these wizards. Alright. Work is not getting done in a pacing that I would like. That's the understatement of the year. But, well, I cannot change it either. And that's what you get when you have only 14 dwarfs at your disposal. So, I think I'm going to fast forward some time here and hit back the play button once something interesting happens, because currently we're just slow-mo building our fortress. So, a little bit of time went into land. I have set up some flooring up here. Changed the color for this floor because the wall has also a different color. The work on the dining hall is getting together slowly but steadily. And another thing that crossed my mind was that it's summer again, you know? And therefore, I felt like, let's make some crafts. I ordered at these workshops rock crafts, shell crafts, and also decorations with shell. The shell decoration dude is going to take from this finished goods stockpile. The finished goods stockpile is accepting basically all the items that are lying around or that are being made here. We are just currently seeing not enough hauling business, but it's okay. We're gonna get along with that in the course of the time. I just hope that with the shell decoration job will work out somehow. And, well, probably we shouldn't store that stuff as refuse anymore. But it's just a intermediate thing that I want to get done, you know, until the caravan hits town. Because I figured it would be a shame that if we'd had nothing to sell again, especially since I ordered fuel stuff for the next caravan to arrive. And, you know, I think it's always a good thing to have something to export. It mustn't be in the first year. I'm actually quite often so busy in the first year that I don't find time to make anything tradable. So, but basically, it's always good to trade. You know, there's never anything bad about it. And the last thing that I did here in between was I ordered some rock coffers and cabinets because I figured that these things, you know, all in all, we want to fill those apartments. We want to make a dandy fancy fortress. The or Enchantress Overlord said so, and therefore we need a bit of a value in our apartments. This whole fortress here is pretty fancy bling bling insofar as it sees a lot of room in its apartments. I think I've never built a full-scale fortress with such large apartments ever. You know, usually that was either my beginner days or something that I knew that I'd be distilling down at some point, like make only a portion of those rooms so large and so on and so forth. But this fortress, it's the first time that I'm all out for luxury because, you know, you have so much room in this game. It's not that much of a big deal. And another thing, you see, some things have happened when you let just the game pass forward a little bit. Another thing, I went deeper here, and I felt like it's about time that we explore here a little bit more. You know, we got those two siltstone caverns. It's all nice and dandy. We got lots of limonite here, so I'm looking forward to that. But I went for a little bit of a deeper drill here, and we found wet noodles. So I want to see what we can do here. Enchantress is visiting us. Yeah, so now it's official. We are in the drought phase, so to say. And that's when your fortress does not attract any new people for a pretty long time. This can last now for a year or two. Luckily, our civilization has more than 200 people. I mean, probably nobody will come anymore. That would be a shame if this one holding would not send any new people. But I mean, it's 300 population, so well, we'll see about that. So why are my miners not doing the mining jobs? Care to tell me? I mean, I have 3 miners. What's the matter? Ah, wall smoothing. Yeah, okay. Wall smoothing bigger than anything else in the world. You know, I could funnel the XP of the wall smoothing into certain individuals. Yes. But, you know, I personally like the swarm of smoothing dwarves. And it also makes the job done quite quickly. So, yeah, back to topic. The thing here is that I want to know if this is now the aquifer they promised me, and if so, why is it so darned deep down below? Oh, that would be really uncomfortable. I really just hope that it's part of the underground ocean thing, and it's just a little bit of a panicky reaction of my dwarves, and actually nothing is there. Yeah, They just have all hands full to do. Alrighty, so yeah, that's been that for now. It'll stay like that for quite some time until we meet more people. I mean, at the end of the day, if we don't get new migrants, we might be taking all those monster eradicators and whatnot and host them in our fortress. Might be also an option. I don't know what I'll exactly do. I only know that I'm gonna be fast forwarding for a moment and tell you once, and come back once new exciting things take place here. I finally understood something. So all these visitors, all these people coming to my fortress, they actually come as people that want to stay in my fortress. So all these enchanter people, they want to be part of my business. So, well, I thought a little bit about that, and I took a revisitation of that thing here. So if you go downstairs here, we are on Caverns level 1, and I figured that we might be setting up ourselves a nice little bat cave here. So let's say we're setting up a base of operations down here with a nice little dining room and all these things, and most importantly, a trap corridor securing the entrance and the exit to the caverns. I mean, there are constantly people coming to my fortress and asking for citizenship, and I figured that since I cannot afford a military currently, and you know, it's a competent lasher, comes from well, let's see, the named band. Where's that? Since my neighborhood is not that large, I just want to know, is that this civilization, or is it the... I have the feeling as if this might be actually my direct neighborhood sending me all these people. But, well... If only we could just check out something by searching for it. So, well, for me, it still remains a mystery where that person comes from. But I decided that once we have carved out the the bat cave, I'm down for that. But currently, it ain't gonna happen simply because we just have too much other stuff on our hands. It's with that low amount of workers, it is always quite difficult to be working forward. And yeah, I actually am in the aquifer layer now. Okay, that's unexpected. So yeah, we got a pretty deep aquifer for my purpose, for my understanding. It's really deep. So, woof. That's a tough one. I don't know what to do out of that spontaneously. Yep, it's leaking. So, of course, we're going to breach through that. That's not the question. But the question is more like, that means stuff like clean water. We'll have to pump that upwards. Pretty long area. And, oh my gosh. So that's going to be quite the effort. Maybe we even have to build up a pump stack and stuff. So I find that quite interesting. Don't get me wrong here. This is actually quite cool. Also quite cool, my food and drink stockpiles. It is by now clear that we don't need to go for easy meals anymore, My dwarves deserve better. So we're going to go for lavish meals. And with that notion, I'd say it's a good moment to say also goodbye for today, my friends. Because, it's been a really, really good run for today. We really got us somewhere. I mean, look at the happiness here at this place. They love Justice Paint. But I mean, how not to love this place? It's actually pretty cool here. I'm also installing a lever here for the bridge. We got safety installed. We got, yeah, we are even setting up ourselves a base camp down below at Caverns level 1. So really like that. Let's put that on a hotkey. And with that, I really would love to hear from you folks, as you all know. And of course, feel free to leave a thumbs up on that video and consider subscribing. It's a really easy way to support this channel without paying a dime, and I'd be really happy if you did so. Either way, thanks for watching. Check out the description box playlist down there for the rest of the saga if you want to start from episode 1 if you're new. And of course, a big thanks to the supporters of this channel. There's the support links for Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee down there, and I'd really be happy if you'd give them a look. And if not, just let me say thanks for watching yet again. You are through the ad roll. I don't know, that makes you one of like 20 or 30% of my viewership. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.